Hello! Today I'm going to guide you through the gear progression of the Crackshooter and/or the Harlequin. I will show you how you can progress with your equipment from level 1 to AO 100. I will cover only the PvE side of the gear progression to make it as simple as possible. You can find a timestamp in the video description to each of the classes. But before we start, I want to make sure that you check out my channel for more guides, as well as my Twitch channel where I stream every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. But let's dive right into the mystical world of FlyFF. Welcome to the Crackshooter guide. This guide is very simple since the Crackshooter doesn't need many upgrades to become a strong class, and I'll be focusing on the 101 side, since you can later on just AoE with the 101 equipment. One important information for the Crackshooter class is that it has a unique function which covers every crit chance over 100% into ICD, but this only applies if it's in the PvE. In PvP, it maxes out at 200%. When you start out, you're gonna focus on the given gear until you reach the first job change. You want to equip the bow that the job change is providing you. While you're grinding to reach level 60, you want to gather a bunch of beginner chips so you can get your hands on the Guardian bow and the 45 set. As soon as you reach level 60, you're going to buy the bow and the 45 set. You can actually keep this equipment for a very long time. The only exception would be to get the legendary golden bow, since this would be a very nice upgrade. You can obtain the legendary golden bow by hunting giants in Shadowvar. You could go for the 105 tyrant set or the bloody set, but since they are not much stronger, it would be a waste of money and time to farm them. The next upgrade you are looking for is the Lusaka's crystal bow. This bow can be obtained by clearing the Savage Wilds dungeon. Since we're talking about the Savage Wilds, you also want to get the Marksman jewelry set if possible, since you will be using that jewelry for a long time. You should focus on only upgrading the rings to plus 15. The next set you want to get is the 125 set, since this set gives you finally a bigger bonus than the 45 set and will be a big upgrade for you. The awakes you should be aiming for are as follows. The helmet should have 40 plus dex, while the suit can have crit chance or ICD with more than 15 to 20%. When you focus on PvE, you want to get crit chance, since the crit chance will be converted to ICD. And for the boots, you want to have 20% plus ICD. You want to get 4 sockets into the suit with lightning charge 7% for a massive damage boost. And now, we are already preparing the endgame equipment. The second to last weapon upgrade will be the Dragon's Rain, which can be dropped from Anku's Asylum. You will keep this weapon for a long time, since the jump to the Bloodbane is too big not to invest into the Dragon's Rain. When you are upgrading the Dragon's Rain, make sure to upgrade it to at least Ultimate plus 10, since you can later on just use this weapon and get a creation token out of it, which you will need to make a Bloodbane weapon. Make sure to place Electric Cards A into the weapon for an easy damage boost. While we are already talking about creation tokens, you can obtain them in various ways. You can get them by bidding on them during a Titan auction or by making various weapons Ultimate plus 10 and transform these into the tokens. You also need a Hematite Soaked Creation Stone and the Crackshooter construction plan. The plan and the stone can be obtained inside the Hephaestus dungeon, while you can also bid on the stone during a Titan auction. And now you will have a Bloodbane bow that you will be upgrading until it's maxed out. Time for the jewelry, I would say. You can obtain the jewelry inside the Snowy Peaks dungeon. Since this is the last jewelry you will get, make sure to upgrade it as much as possible. Now for the last part of the gear, which will be the Cursed Crackshooter set. All you need are the 125 set, the 130 set with the Cursed Crackshooter fragment. You take these to the exchange NPC and exchange them to the Cursed Crackshooter set. The fragments can be obtained inside the Cursed Deathwing dungeon. Now you upgrade the set to the max. When it comes to the awakes, you want to get as much crit chance or ICD on the bow. 30% plus is optimal. The helmet should have 60 plus dex, while the suit has 30% plus ICD or a combination with ICD and crit chance. The gauntlets should have as much crit chance as possible, aiming for roughly 20% plus crit. And the boots should simply have 40% plus ICD. And with that, you have geared and mastered the Crackshooter. In the beginning, we're going to keep the given equipment that the game provides us with. On our way to level 60, we are gathering beginner chips that we can afford the 45 set and the Guardian Yo-Yo at level 60. After we reach level 60, we are going to buy the 45 set and the Guardian Yo-Yo. This equipment can be used until you reach 105. At that point, you want to farm a legendary golden yo-yo that you can obtain by hunting giants in Shadowvar. For the 105 set, you want to get the nice set, which drops from all monsters that are 105 plus. You should not invest too much into this gear, since the next one will be not far away. Aim for 3 sockets with lightning cards 4% and some decent awakes. The awakes you should be aiming for are as follows. The helmet should have around 20 to 30 strength, while the suit has 15% plus ICD. For the gauntlets, you are aiming for as much crit chance as possible for now, but having 10% plus should be fine. For the boots, obviously you want 20% plus ICD on them. There's no real reason, if you don't play hop for dungeons, that you invest into the bloody set or yo-yo. Next up would be to get the Lusaka's Crystal Yo-Yo and the 125 set. You can obtain the Lusaka's Crystal Yo-Yo inside the Savage Wilds as well as the Champion's Jewelry set, which you will need until you get your hands on the 150 jewelry. You should focus on upgrading only the rings of the jewelry, since those are the big damage givers. You can upgrade the yo-yo a little bit, but since you don't need any lifesteal as a Harlequin, since that gets provided by the skills of the Harlequin, you could simply ignore upgrading it. Next up is the set, which will be the 125 set for the Harlequin. Since this will provide you a good damage boost and also will be needed to make the 150 set later. You should pierce the suit 4 times and get lightning cards 7% into them. As for the awakes, you should aim for the same awakes as the 105 set, but just a little bit higher. We are now approaching the end game as a Harlequin and we want to get our hands on a Dementia. You can upgrade this yo-yo as much as you want, since the Bloodbane yo-yo is fairly far away at this point. But as a reminder, you don't need to get any lifesteal as a Harlequin. You could upgrade the yo-yo to Ultimate plus 10, since you could make it to a creation token later on. The last jewelry you want to obtain is the Blessed Harlequin jewelry, which can be obtained inside the Sky Forest dungeon. You can upgrade the jewelry all the way to the max. After that, you want to get your hands on the Blessed set. You can exchange the 125 set and the 130 set with a Blessed Harlequin fragment to create a Blessed set. The Blessed set would be the last set as a Harlequin. So investing into really good awakes wouldn't be a bad idea. The awakes you should look for are as followed. The helmet needs to have 60 plus strength, while the suit has 30% plus ICD on it. The gauntlet should have around 150 attack and the boot should roughly have 40% plus ICD. Now you're only missing the last step to be done with the Harlequin. All you need are the creation tokens to get the Bloodbane yo-yo. You can get the creation tokens by bidding on them during the Titan auction or by making various weapons Ultimate plus 10 and exchange those to creation tokens. You also need to get the Hematite soaked creation stone, which can be bid on at the Titan auction as well, or by dropping it inside the Hephaestus dungeon. Inside the Hephaestus dungeon you can also obtain the Harlequin construction plan. After you gathered all these materials, you can craft the Bloodbane yo-yo. And to top it all off, you just max the yo-yo out as much as possible. And with that, you have geared and mastered the Harlequin. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please leave a like. And if it did not help, please dislike the video. For future content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on what I should cover next. Happy farming and see you in Madrigal.